It's a time of turmoil, terror, war. Experience the French Revolution from an entirely new point of view. Woof woof, have I ever told you I was a royal dog back when I was just a little puppy like you? My mother was a purebred Pomeranian and was brought to England by Queen Charlotte. Even though France had helped America fight against England, Charlotte was friends with Queen Marie Antoinette of France and sent my mother to live with her in the Palace of Versailles. My father was a pug, so I'm a bit more of a common mutt. I still lived in the palace and loved my people, King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette. They gave me the best treats and even let me eat cake. One day I jumped from the palace window to chase a squirrel and got lost in the streets of Paris. It was crowded, loud, and dirty. I was very scared until a street urchin named Andre took me in. Andre's family was very poor, although his father was a construction worker and helped build the Queen's Chateau de Trianon 20 years before. But now there was no money to build new things. We barely had any food. Andre and his family didn't like my former people, the king and queen, but I couldn't really blame them. Andre explained to me that there were 3 breeds of people called estates. The first estate served the big dog in heaven, reminding me of St. Bernard's. The second estate were the nobles, similar to fancy purebreds. The third estate were the commoners, like us mutts. All those people were gathered in a general meeting to help us figure out how to fix the country, but they couldn't get along, and the third estate left to form the National Assembly instead. One time I was out on the street trying to catch rats. We were that hungry when I stumbled upon a nice tennis ball that was rolling from an open door onto the street. I picked up the ball with my teeth to return it to its owner. The building was the Royal Tennis Court, and the National Assembly was inside, swearing not to split up until they had written a new constitution for the country. Some of them also played catch with it. Just a few weeks later, I heard loud thunder down the street and ran over to check it out. There were many people storming the Bastille, and it was very scary. Smoke and fire were everywhere, but the people went against the king's soldiers and ran over the fortress. I ran home to Andre. A great fear came over the country that the king would fight back. Andre's uncle, who was a peasant in a small village, was very scared of the king and the noblemen and wanted to attack them. The National Assembly adopted the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen. It said all people should be free and equal, no matter which estate they were from. Liberty, equality, fraternity was their motto. But soon the revolution itself became more and more scary. They had a machine called the guillotine for chopping off people's heads, and the new alpha dog Maximilian Robespierre was using it to run his reign of terror and kill many people. One brave woman, Olympe de Gouges, wrote the Declaration of Rights of Women, demanding that women also be equal, but she was executed on the guillotine. My former families, the king and queen, were also killed, and eventually Robespierre himself died the same way. That was enough adventure for one simple dog like me, but it wasn't over. I even got to meet Napoleon Bonaparte. He was a French bulldog, leader, who people thought would make France better after King Louis XVI, a weak leader. Napoleon's biggest mistake was invading Russia in 1812. He wanted more power after the Russian Tsar refused to stop selling Britain grain. Both of them also had designs on Poland. Andre went with Napoleon's army to Russia. His job was to build bridges across rivers for the army to cross. Andre was very nervous but brought me along for company. It was a long way to Russia and it was so cold there, but Andre and I tried to keep each other warm. Many soldiers died, but Andre and I were lucky and got home safely. At last I got to rest a little in my small doghouse because there were finally peace after the Congress of Vienna. This was a series of meetings from 1814 to 1815 to ensure peace and stability. Europe got new borders and a new political order and abolished slave trade. And this all happened in my lifetime. Can you believe it? I am now a very old dog and hope times will become more peaceful for you. Revolution Dog, coming soon to a theater near you.